Welcome, and congratulations on receiving funding for your project. As a new project director, you probably have a lot of questions. The Sponsored Programs Administration Office has many resources to help you, including a staff of highly trained administrators to assist you in the management of your award. The administrator assigned to your project can help you with many questions about managing your award. Managing your award includes making changes to your project, submitting progress reports, and closeout requirements as your reward nears completion. Finally, the administrator will help you with compliance by helping to make sure that any expenses that you have are allowed based on federal and university regulations. One of your responsibilities will be to review the financial summary report every month. Now that you have received your financial award for your project, you will monitor your revenue very carefully. This tutorial is designed to help you understand how to access, print, and read a financial summary report. It is very important that you know how to access and understand the key areas of this report in order to manage your revenue and expenses, such as travel, staffing, and purchasing. Each month, you will download a copy of the financial summary report from PeopleSoft. The financial summary report is a great tool to help you see all of the financial expenses and revenues of your project each month. It is also a snapshot of all of your assets, liabilities, revenue, and expenses for your project that have been processed to date. In other words, the summary gives you a brief overview of your financial comings and goings, all in one spot. For example, when a salary is paid by Human Resources at NIU and the amount is deducted from the grant, it will show up on this report under Direct Expenses. When you purchase a printer or stamps, the expense will show up on this report under Direct Expenses as well. Let's go through each area of the budget to explain what that means. The Department of Sponsored Programs sets up your financial summary report to run every month. You have the responsibility of accessing this report and reviewing the information regarding your award after it is pulled. To pull the report, you need to go to the Office of Sponsored Programs website at www.niu.edu/OSP. In the top of the page, click on the link for Managing an Award. In the left navigation panel, select Financial Reports. Then locate the red Access Grant Reports text and click on it. From here, you can log in to access your report. You download and print the report from this area. Please note that no notifications will be sent to you regarding pulling this report. It is your responsibility to pull this report monthly for review. There is a lot of information on these reports, but there are some key areas that you should monitor on a regular basis as you manage your award. We are going to briefly review each of these areas to help you understand how to quickly review this report. The first important area is the header area. The header, located at the top of the page, shows identifying information about your award. Including your name, the name of the project, and the project dates of the award. This is especially important if you are managing several awards so that you can easily identify the award you are reviewing. It also includes the month that the report is covering and the actual date that the report is run. The second area that you should review every month is the assets of your award. This area is located directly underneath the header. The column marked Actual on the left-hand side of the screen shows actual cash position for your award. In some instances, as shown in this example, you have received an award and have begun to expense salaries and purchasing. In that case, your actual cash position will have columns indicating a negative amount. An invoice has been sent to the awarding agency, but the funds have not yet been received. The total assets will then show the sum of these two amounts. When does this happen? When NIU accepts a grant on your behalf, NIU is assuming the responsibility of the revenue. This means that you may begin expensing the grant whether or not the revenue has been received from the awarding agency. The next area, Liabilities and Equities, is an overview of the expenses that the grant incurs. If an expense has been charged to the grant but has not yet been paid, they will appear as negative amounts. Your equity, the total revenues, is also a line item in this section. The combination of these two items should balance out with the total assets. If they do not, you should contact the Office of Sponsored Programs to request further assistance. The fourth area that should be reviewed by all award managers is the area of revenues and transfers. In this section, and in the sections below, there are 5 columns with key information. In this section, you can look at the period actual amount, the first column. The balance in this column is the total activity for the month of both revenues and expenses. This amount is also included in the project to date amount. A normal revenue balance is bracketed, which means that there is revenue available. The total amount available is in the budget column. This will be the total amount of your grant that has not yet been billed. This is the actual amount remaining in the grant and is one of the most important amounts in the sheet to review. It is a calculation of the budget amount less the actual revenue to date, less the obligation amount, if any. The last major area of the FSR is the expense area. There are 2 expense types in your award, direct and indirect. Any revenue that is spent prior to receiving the revenue from the awarding agency will appear under direct expenses. This includes charges like salary and benefits, purchases, and travel. Unlike revenue, a normal balance will not appear in brackets. If your expense appears in brackets, you should contact the Office of Special Projects to let them know that you may have gone over budget for your award. The obligations column in your expenses area is outstanding obligations that have not yet been paid. For example, if you have purchased equipment but the amount has not yet been paid to the supplier, then that amount will still be deducted from the total available revenue. The indirect expenses is an overhead charge that the university is allowed to charge on privately or federally funded projects to offset the costs of labs, lights, computers, office equipment, and supplies. This amount is part of the budget for the award, but as the project manager, you will not be directing these expenses. In this tutorial, we have reviewed the financial summary report, which gives a monthly view of revenue and expenses for an award or grant. If you have any additional questions or have a concern about your award, contact the Office of Sponsored Programs to receive help. Thank you.